Now they killed her in here.
I mean, if this was I don't know if it's a better show. I think actually it's a good show with Lady Young, so I don't want her to die. But at the same point, this is classically a bad time to leave.
Yeah.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Stoneface Reactions. I'm Theta, this is Lessons, and we are back with another episode of Mobile Suit Gundam Wing. We of course come back with notes, we come back with a comment, and we come back with a board, and as always, let's go ahead and start with the board. And with the board comes the board changelog, once Lessons wakes up.
Sorry.
Where I have added Nicole, Professor G, Tubarov, and the other scientists who have, as of yet, not been named. Connected Nicole to Lady Un with a green line. Connected Professor G to Duo with a green line. Connected the scientists together with a green line. Then connected Lady Un to that green line with a red line. Connected Tubarov to Catalonia with a green line. Connected Tubarov to Trays with a white line. Changed the green line from Zex to Trays to white, and I moved Zex to the civilian group, apropos of him being in any other alignment at the moment.
I guess my Operation Meteor covers is the scientists, so they're all going to be red.
They are all red.
Yeah. I was thinking that maybe they just, Operation Meteor is over, I guess, technically speaking.
Is it? Why is it over?
Because they were going to destroy us on Earth, and they failed to do that, so now they're going to space to try to destroy us in space.
I would also argue that Operation Meteor isn't just the name of the operation, but the organization.
That's a name for organization.
Sorry, there's another example I'm trying to get to, and I realize that if I just try and think about it, I'm leaving dead air. God, what is the one? Logos? No, it wasn't Logos. There is one that ends weirdly. Zaft. It was Zaft.
Zaft, yeah.
It's treaty. The Zodiac Alignment Force Treaty or something like that. Yeah, which is a weird name. Well, I guess it's not that weird. Well, no, because NATO is organization. Warsaw Pact didn't have an abbreviation, did it?
No.
But it's Warsaw Pact describes the organization in the same way I guess Zaft does with a treaty. So, I don't know. It's not that weird to me, considering the other stuff I've already complained about. There's that point at which you reach where people are going to say, well, you're not keeping to your own beliefs. You complained about this thing forever, and now you're like, this is fine. Well, yeah, it's because I've been worn down. There is a chronological order to these arguments. So if I'm like, I don't give a shit about this anymore, it's because I've complained so much about that other thing. So if you came to see me like complain the same way, I just don't have the energy anymore. You know, the first kid wore me down. Enough. The second kid, I don't give a shit about anymore.
Yeah. Still feels a bit odd. Because operation implies an action, not a group.
Well, yeah, but the scope of the action could be longer and it can be changed. Operation Meteor started with the destruction of Oz, and now the mission parameters have changed. Same mission, different target.
Oh no, the destruction of Oz was always a target. It just happened that they ended up destroying the Earth Alliance in the process.
I'm saying different target because your point was that they're going to space now. It's not about the destruction of Oz on Earth. That they're moving the mission area, and obviously also the target.
Ostensibly, it's the same target because it's Oz in space. Just the same organization.
I would argue Romefeller is more so the target. Or Romefeller is included in the parameters of the target.
Yeah. But Romefeller is on Earth mostly, so yeah.
Well, you and me both know things. So, I also would argue, you say Romefeller is mostly on Earth. I would say Romefeller is the one mostly controlling the tortoises because of Tubarov. So, the tortoises are in space. So if that's an arm of Romefeller, well, Oz is an arm of Romefeller. There is a lot, or there's not a lot. Yeah. This is Gundam Wing. There's not a lot. It's just obtuse is what it is.
It's all over the place, which I have a bunch of notes about it. And this is where when I watched it originally, I started getting confused. Like, but they're going, but that, and it never stopped being confusing. Confusing in the not. This is hard to comprehend. Is like there are way simpler ways to do this than the way they went about it. Like, if you wanted to go from point A to point B, it's shorter distance than going from point A to point F, then E, then D, and then back to B, And that's, I think, what passes for depth a lot of stuff in Wing is like, yeah, we could take the straight line and just go from there to there, but that's too simple. We'll get there eventually,
I know it's stuff we've said plenty of times already about what Gundam Wing is.
So therefore, I shall start with the notes, as it were. Episode 17, Betrayed by Home, Far Away. Which is an odd translation, but makes sense. Oh, so you thought only the Gundams could overpower you? Say hello to the Taurus. Not 4 Taurus, Oz's Taurus. Basically, just the Taurus show up and they just blow everything their alliance has, with like little or no chance of them hitting back. Like before that, it's only the Gundams just wiping out the Earth Alliance the Alliance forces with just not even hitting somebody back. Because now it's a Taurus show. Like, yeah.
I guess I'm just forgetting the part that you're talking about, because my mind focuses on the Taurus fight from the second episode that we watched. Not so much things happened in the first episode.
The first episode actually starts with the Taurus fight. It's good because then we move to other things, but that's established.
That's what I'm saying is I just don't remember it because my mind focuses on the second episode's Taurus's fight. So I understand that's the episode that introduces Nicole, which is the guy who's remote controlling the Tauruses by a voice command. I just don't remember it because it wasn't that important to me.
Yep.
It's funny, despite all the episodes that begin with the narrator explaining how the Alliance subjugated the colonies by force, we've spent so much time fighting Oz on Earth that I genuinely forgot about that plot point. This is especially true now that it's been over a month since Oz overthrew the Alliance, yet we're still somehow battling Alliance bases on Earth. It just occurred to me that when Lady Un threatened to destroy the colonies unless the Gundam pilots surrendered, the colonies were still under Alliance control. In hindsight, her move had a major flaw. She could have pursued multiple objectives. Instead of just demanding the Gundams surrender, she could have also pressured the Alliance commanders in the colonies with the same ultimatum. Even if she failed to stop the Gundams, she might have forced a few colonies to submit before Treize intervened. You could argue that this would have harmed her future diplomatic efforts, but since everyone already knows what she did, the damage is done anyway, just without the added benefit of weakening the Alliance. Arguably, that's why she later adopts her more diplomatic persona.
Well, there's comments about whether they actually believe Oz was behind it. Certain things probably go behind that as well, but
that seems to be a generational thing. The scientists and that one old guy in the council seem to be second generation colonists, whereas the guys that are arguing for peace with Oz seem to be third generation colonists.
Oh, he literally says, we're very there's a conversation with Un, goes like, oh, you're very young. It's like, yeah, we're third generation colonists.
Yes, that's why I'm saying third generation. You think I'm just making up the number 3 out of nowhere? Literally, those older people, older people in the room are second generation colonists because they're the generation before these people. That's why I'm calling him the third generation colonist, because he says he's third generation, and I'm saying that they're second generation because of that fact. Like, you don't have to say they're literally. That's where I'm coming from with that.
Yeah, but the thing is,
it's also alluding to the Gundam origin thing when we talked about what's her name, Rose Lucia and Zeon and their generations of colonies. I have another note, by the way, about the generations thing. So you might want to hold back on the snarkiness until we get to that one.
Well, talking about snarkiness, I guess Lady Un now has a split personality of sorts.
Well, Treize told her to be more ladylike. Now she's a ladylike persona.
Well, she has her hair down. The moment the hair goes back into the buns.
No, I mean, they alluded to it when they did the whole shadow against the wall thing.
Yeah.
All right. The colony rep that was hitting on Lady Un says that he is a third-generation colonist. meaning that the first generation of colonists were about 60 to 90 years ago, which ironically means that the colonies, at the earliest, were inhabited in the after-colony year of 105. Pretty ballsy to name your calendar after colony 100 years before the colonies. And yes, I know, they could have invented the calendar after the point and then just renumbered it all. But that doesn't seem as intelligent as Gundam Wing would be. Gundam Wing is over the top and stupid. So, it seems to me these people would have named, we're still on Earth, but I feel it's like an after colony year, if I'm really being honest.
Well, at least they gave themselves, they padded the time, like 195 years. We can have as many generations as we want to. 3 generations? Oh, yeah, they fit snugly right in.
Third generation colonist is at 90 years at the most. So 195, which means at the earliest, we built these colonies in after colony year 105. Also, why is it after colony 105? Even if you backtraced the numbers, after colony 0 has nothing to do with the colonies. Maybe it took them 105 years to build them. Maybe we're just real slow. I mean, it's actually not that slow considering how big they are and everything, but considering actual universal century and whatnot, where it seems like they got on the ball real quick.
I mean, yes, Katre, when you help people against their oppressors, they tend to welcome that. And if you would have worked, it would have worked too. We, the audience, hadn't seen the meeting with the Oz leaders gloating about their plans. I guess suddenly it's truly a foreign country. To add to the context, this is Katre talking with. I know. But to the audience,
there's nothing to add. Quatra is the he's the one who sacrificed the most to be here, I think.
Yeah, he sacrificed Sandrock.
No, to be here. He's the one who gave up his old inheritance and everything like that, and basically ostracized himself from his own community. And then, he got picked up by the Magnetic Corp and everything, but he's the one who sacrificed everything. And now, yes, he sacrificed Sandrock, but I really don't have anything to add to that one. This episode really minimizes the colony's ability to do anything for themselves. Duo and Quattro go on about how the colonies will be tricked, are too easygoing, and will just let Oz take over. And now they have to go to space with their Gundams because they are the only ones that can save the colonies. I mean, I get it. They are the Gundam pilots, and they are the only ones that can really stand up to the Oz military. Fine. At the same time, we've seen the insurgents on the colonies, those guys that saved Relina when her dad was killed, for example. Hell, each of the Gundam pilots comes from the colonies, so clearly there are people like them there. It's just such a broad stroke to paint a hell of a lot of people with.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's a sort of very vague, today would be very vague social media talk, like people like, oh, make these comments, send comment sections, oh, people are like this, rather than, something with substance and depth to it.
My problem with that is it's more like if the president was going to do it. Because that's what it... I don't mean it like...
I know what you meant.
No, my problem is that these are the people that are supposed to save everybody, so they're the ones that are bad-mouthing the people that they're trying to save.
And it doesn't stop there. Number 4. There's no reason to believe that Oz will assassinate any politician who stood in their way. Just ask Relina's father, or General Noventa. I'm sure if they were alive today, they'll tell you that.
Or, Hiro Yui.
Or Hiro Yui. Well, yeah, as well.
Well, that's literally the assassination plot. That is literally the backstory of the show.
Yeah.
Or, Daddy Peacecraft.
Yeah, the whole Peacecraft movement. That's a difference there. Without distinction, I guess, because it was the Earth Alliance while they were unifying the world that attacked.
They say it's the Earth Alliance, but remember the elite of the Earth Alliance is Oz. So, no saying that.
Like I said,
Oz
it's a difference
there.
without distinction. Yeah, so they blame Oz because they're ultimately blaming the Rockefeller Foundation.
Having the colonies turn their backs on you might be a hit to the morale, but it honestly changes nothing. Most of the pilots were the odd man out among their populations and had to give up everything to join Operation Meteor. They are already pariahs among their people. Further, the mission remains the same, and the support network, as much as there ever was one, remains unchanged. Well, unless your Gundam's creator destroys the facility and research like Professor G did. Either way, you were an isolated soldier fighting a war without the support of your nation before, especially when your leadership claimed to know nothing about you. And now that still remains true. They are doing this because it needs to be done, not because they had a nation cheering them on. Quattro had to relinquish his birthright to be here. That already went a ways towards explaining his thoughts about this. Having Duo's colony renounce them shouldn't affect him at all.
It's just pissing them off, basically.
It doesn't. It makes them sad. It makes them sad, and then
Either
they
way.
talk shit about their own people.
I mean, there's always that's the kind of thing about the romanticism of revolution. You always think that because you're doing the right thing, other people will see it that way, and when they don't, it's like, oh man, you know, like I wish that if we do this thing that we're doing, the people surely should rise and defend them. And people are like,
it was my favorite part of Les Mis when they formed the barricades and then there's nobody there, and then that guy like stands up on at the end of the song. Oh man.
Yeah, pretty much.
They kiss themselves with blood. Oh man.
Old advisor, I'm annoyed, miffed even by your use of the word peace. In my time, we kill our enemies, kill them dead. Oh, and also walk to school barefoot, up and down a steep hill in 3 feet of snow. Barefoot, I said. Barefoot. I mean, I agree with the old man, but the way it came off was just like that. I was like, well, back in my day, we kill our enemies
did used to walk uphill in the snow to school through the woods, so.
Barefoot?
No, I spray painted my friend's shoes and get in trouble for that, though.
Okay.
Found a can of spray paint, so let me spray paint your shoes green. And he's like, okay, let's do it. And then we got to school and like, who spray painted your shoes green? He did. No, I mean, I thought it was a funny line. I just didn't make a note about it because it was just like, yeah, it is annoying. Did Dr. J just get as lucky as he possibly could be? He has this giant gun aimed at the outer wall of the colony, and it's clearly not something he's moving around. It looks like an emplacement. Plus, he's got his whole computer set up right beside it, meaning that this is likely just his lab. To then have the Alliance mobile suits position themselves right on top where his gun is, so he can fire the perfect arc to hit the Tauruses out in space. I mean, the fact that the Alliance guys don't respond would make me think that they were just dolls themselves that Jay was using to lure Oz in, but we know Jay is anti-doll from his previous statements. And just to tie it to another scene, I guess whichever of the scientists made Sandrock wasn't as anti-doll, considering that Quattro is implying Sandrock was doing things on its own. Otherwise, Quattro is just a little crazy, setting automatic controls and then thanking the machine for doing stuff.
Well, the way I would say that was actually a copy of the main gun of Wing, and I think it was on some kind of test bed. And when they get blown up, the guy's like, "Oh no, we lost some of the man dolls, not all the dolls."
I think you're misreading.
All the Taurus.
You're misreading my comment. I'm saying, did he get lucky about positioning? I'm not questioning what the gun was. I'm saying that his lab just happened to be in a perfect outside arc.
I mean, yeah, that's true. I was going to say that too.
They're also saying that the Alliance soldiers aren't responding to the messages, and technically all they're doing is like doing the flashing light to signal them. So the idea that they could just be automated suits and not actually the Alliance suits that Dr. J is using to lure the Tauruses in to the firing arc of his gun. But it's like, well, that means you've automated these things in the way that you've expressly put out there that you are against. And then, I'm tying that into Quattro's, oh, thank you, Sandrock, as it seems Sandrock is doing shit on its own. And the idea that Professor G must not be as anti-doll as Dr. J is.
The thing is that's a good theory. But we, at least in the English dub, because we listen to an English dub, we hear people screaming as they're dying, and also they say, "Oh, the ones that they got were the man Tauruses." I know you talk about the suits that are on the ground,
Yeah,
signaling with the
on
mirror.
the ground.
Those get blown up.
That's not where you hear the screaming from. You hear the screaming when we're on the shot with the tortoises, implying that some of those tortoises are manned beyond the one Nicole was in.
Yeah.
So that's why I was saying no. That's why I was saying no. It's not. That's not where the screaming is. And my indication is that there's no Alliance people in the Alliance Leos that are standing on the surface. Because otherwise, I mean, I don't know why else the Alliance guys wouldn't be responding, and why they would be standing right above Dr. J's lab. Because otherwise, if that's not a Dr. J ploy, that is just fucking lucky. Then otherwise, why would you have the gun pointed at the wall?
Yeah.
The lab you are in.
Now, my next note, and again, this is very sarcastic, just so you know. So all it took to transform a sweet Oz rep into a cold-hearted murderer was a change of hairstyle, a uniform, and some glasses.
And a mental disorder.
Well, that too, but yeah. To activate the mental disorder, I guess.
I mean, also, it's the reverse of what you said. She starts as Lady An and then goes to the other persona. So you changed her. I mean, you're changing her back.
Yeah.
So, but the idea is that all it takes is to turn a bloodthirsty soldier into a whatever the fuck that other woman is a rom-com style makeover.
Yeah, changing the glasses for context, I suppose.
She once was an ugly librarian, but then a man took her glasses off and she became hot.
Yeah.
Shame you don't have long hair because it's been the pinnacle of the joke. Yeah, you take your glasses off and just...
Yeah.
Alright, how the hell does that guy know that the 5 random shuttles launching off of the Earth each have a Gundam pilot on board? For that matter, how much space traffic does this world have? I would guess very little if 5 shuttles taking off is so easily trackable, let alone their passengers. We know Duo and Quattro were making their actions extremely visible, but not everyone else. How does Oz know what they are up to? Feels like I missed something.
Well, they did talk about the Gundams attacking the Oz base and the taking off of 5 modules. Yeah, no, but there were 5 ones.
I know that. That's the part I'm asking about. Imagine how this is 195 years after the colonies get made, real life. How much commercial traffic passes? How much, person traffic passes between colonies and Earth? Like, clearly not that much. If we can just that's 5. That's 5 shuttles. There's 5 Gundams. It's like, what the fuck? How do you know those are Gundam pilots? How do you know each of those shuttles has a Gundam pilot? It's like, I don't... Because again, Quattro and Duo are being very obvious to try and send a message to the other pilots to know what they're up to try and, hey, do the same thing as us. That's how they know that the other ones are attacking a spaceport, because that's them, to get on the news. We don't see the rest of them. Like, Wu Fei later is in a shuttle. We see him do the floating around thing, but we don't see anybody else gathering. Yeah, we don't see anybody else gathering up. So how does Oz know? We didn't see it, and we have God's point of view.
A question for the ages. It sucks when they take down your plot armor by just a smidge. Not enough to blow you up, but enough to knock you down and feel like you're about to die, even though that's what happens at all.
Either of the 2 things I would guess you're talking about would be Quattro. So Quattro?
And Duo as well, because Duo is false face with the Death Side false face down. He's like,
I laughed.
It sucked to die here. Oh my god!
Oh no, you're not talking about that. I was laughing.
They're shooting above you. They're not even hitting you.
I was laughing about the time the tank was shooting at them, and just for the one time the Death Scythe had no power to stop it. He's just standing there, tank shoots, goes right out of screen. It's like, well, this is the one tank that brought down a Gundam.
Yeah. Never underestimate a tank.
So the scientists built the tall geese and then vanished with all of their intel. That is the definitive proof that the tall geese shares design elements with the Gundams beyond Zek's just saying it does all the time. In my mind, it also implies that the tall geese is better than the Gundams. It's the suit all the scientists designed together, so it has each of their specialties built into it. Whereas the Gundams were built individually by them, meaning that they might excel in what the scientist's specialty is, but lack the others' specialties that they would bring to a joint design. So when Lady Un says more powerful than the tall geese and then corrects herself to say more powerful than the Gundams, well, I'd say that's the same thing.
Yeah. We know what's going to happen with that soon enough. Well, I guess soon enough.
I don't know. I remember the show being way shorter. So you're saying soon enough. 20 episodes from the thing that we're both. Well, here's the thing. Actually, I just recalled I was thinking in the show probably what you're thinking of, which actually I think does happen like 10 to 20 episodes from now. I was actually thinking of, say, non-spoiler here, 2 other things that I think is coming.
Yeah. And again, for those who might be keeping track at home, we talk about how Y feels that it was faster last time because this was in the US. It was on Toonami, 1 episode a day for 5 days a week. So basically, like 3 months worth of programming contracted to a month and a half. So, yeah.
Well, you actually technically you say 1 episode a day. Technically 2 episodes a day. Granted, it's the same episode.
Yeah, it's a repeat. Yeah,
with more content in it, but
no. Well, it was 6 episodes because there was a midnight episode on Saturday.
Yeah, but that was an episode that played during the week.
Yeah,
so it's not well. If you want to go that route, then technically it's 11 episodes. Only 5 new ones.
Ice and Speeds in our 5 hearts. Tetroa were blowing away a squadron of Waltz fighters. I think it's supposed to be that they're calm and they're focusing on their job, but just again, maybe it's just a translation. It just comes off as weird, like, "Oh, I sense peace in our hearts."
I legit have no idea what you're talking about because I'm not saying it didn't happen. I just legit do not remember Tro having a talking line in 2 episodes.
Yeah, he has it when he joins the fight. It was like, "Oh, I sense peace," and like, "Oh, okay, if you say so." I mean, sure.
That's legit my response to you right now. If you say so. Okay, sure. Trey's show against the mobile dolls is nonsense from the start. Tuberov thinks they are under attack and orders the dolls to destroy the Leo, and the Leo gets shot way more times than has ever been needed to destroy a Leo in the past. Yet no one is concerned that they attack. Sorry, I apparently don't know English anymore. Yet no one is concerned that they attack that they were under. I must have meant the. No one is concerned about the attack that they were under moments ago as being spearheaded by a Leo with invincible armor. Catalonia, who was supervising the demonstration, should have told Tuberov to shut up about the mobile dolls and contacted whoever made this specific Leo.
I have a note about that, but I haven't finished with this episode, so I'll just finish with this episode because that's from episode 18. So do the Gundams have an AI subroutine that is assigned to protect the pilot?
I already brought up that when I was talking about Dr. J's anti-doll stuff, but I meant Professor G's apparently not having that anti-doll thing.
Yeah.
Because that is clearly, I guess, an homage to RX-78-2.
The final thing where he keeps moving and then shoots up.
Well, it's very slow moving. This thing, if this thing is a learning computer, it is the same learning computer from 20 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, Trey's orders could have been a bit more subtle, and I know, Gundam Wing. That's not something we do here. Murder Tuberov is pretty clearly an illegal phrasing of an order. The soldiers saying, "I'm assassinating you under orders of Colonel Trey's," are equally as bad. I'm not sure what the best way to go about it actually would be. Maybe something like, "Restrain Chief Engineer Tuberov. If he resists, stop him at your own discretion," or something. Going straight to murder is crazy. I guess both Trey's and Tuberov are lucky that the 4 guys in the room understood the assignment and didn't just blow his head off the second the order was given.
Well, I think one of the things is if all of them had fired, they would have killed him and probably killed most of the the OS leadership in the process, and him themselves, because they were cross-firing at each other. Like,
actually, I don't think they were. I think they were not in an X formation, but they were like a bit staggered. Like the 2 guys in the desk stood up and they're facing like two, right? But the other guys aren't like directly opposite one another. They're like a little bit to the side, so that all four of them could fit in the same camera position. So
still would have the shots would have if one of those shots went past the engineer, it would have hit the other, at least not themselves, but each of the other people in that.
No, that's what I'm saying. They wouldn't because they weren't cross-firing. They're not like, you don't stand. They're not standing in a line with one another. They're standing in a line opposite. Not opposite.
Yeah, but they wouldn't hit each other's the soldiers, but the shots would have gone through that guy, and there were other people in the room. So if I shoot here,
it wasn't. There was the four guys, Tuberov and Catalonia, and that was it.
No, I think Catalonia was Catalonia probably would have getting hit if there was somebody.
Catalonia was off to the side. To describe what you're saying is happening, they would have to have missed really hard. And Tuberov does not seem like a dodger. He seemed like a shocked guy who was like, "What?" Sorry, that was the other nasaling guy.
Yeah. Either way, now on to episode 18, at least to me. Talgie's destroyed. Tracy is what we call a toxic friend, meaning you can tell him to F off. Just a suggestion.
But it can't, because he's actually a commanding officer who has literally the money in the world.
Yeah, but he's already disobeyed orders and he's about to get court-martialed. Like, I don't think he's part of the chain of command anymore if he hasn't accepted a court-martial.
He did accept the court-martial. He is part of the chain of command, actually, because he's taking orders.
Yeah. But it's like, you know what? I'm a prince of my own nation. Fuck you. I'm out.
Yeah, that works so well from the last prince of that nation.
Yeah.
Which was him, actually.
Yeah, still him. Yeah.
Still him, but yeah, I mean, it fell into ruin when he was the last prince, so now he's the prince again. Well, he's not, because he hasn't taken back his name. He's like, to come, I guess.
I'm sure he's hoping that too. And someone else. Anyway.
I don't think your joke worked because we didn't like set up any like sexual thing ahead of time. You're like, to come. He's like, yeah, I bet he is. Well, he's masturbated on the way over. Are we doing the Dragon Ball Z joke? I did it in the pod. Raccoon didn't have enough room.
Yeah. Oh.
That's the joke in Dragon Ball Z.
I know.
That's not what I'm talking about. That Alliance commander in episode 18 was the best of the Alliance, I think. Dude knew the best way to use the Gundam pilot as an ally against Oz. He knew not to even try negotiating with Oz because they played dirty. He knew his numbers advantage meant nothing against the Tauruses, and not to underestimate Oz. He could have ignored the Gundam pilot on approach and let Oz do whatever they would do, just hang back in his base and let this particular fight pass him by, which may have been the better self-interest move, but I think he accurately spotted the best long-term opportunity and shot his shot. Considering all the arrogant, prideful, and stupid officers we've seen so far, this guy was top tier.
To my next point, this goes to Trace, basically. Is it not great when your MS is modified with plot armor? What you said earlier about he got getting shot multiple times and go like, okay.
I mean, maybe they equipped the mobile doll Leos with reduced ammo or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Lower quality caliber because all they're doing is testing against targets and target dummies. So maybe they didn't want, we don't really want to hurt the wall behind it. This is actually a Romefeller facility, and, well, we've got infinite money. Who the fuck cares?
Yeah. Well, they care about wasting resources, which I have a note about that.
All right. Well, this one is going to be a quote comparison, because hearing them say the thing, I don't know if I said it during the reaction, very much reminded me of a thing from Witch from Mercury. And this isn't going to be like a huge spoiler or anything. Literally, I'm going to quote the thing we saw from last episode in Wing, and something that's said during the prologue episode of Witch from Mercury, which is meant to be seen before you watch the show anyway. Actually, technically, just a side note for those who are going to correct me, they wanted to make the prologue episode to happen between the two cores of Witch from Mercury, but then they thought it would be smarter to release it before the show, and I would absolutely agree that was the better call. I was watching it to get the quote, because unfortunately the quote is broken up between scenes of action that's happening, and I was fucking crying because the prologue is just fucking heartbreaking. Battling without getting your hands dirty is merely a game. Foolish are those who start wars, but the bloodshed during battle is never a waste. Foolish people see the bloodshed and learn to regret their actions, but once war turns into a game, it becomes mere entertainment. Which is a combined quote from Dr. J and Professor G. Now the Witch from Mercury one, which is a bit longer because it's a major thing. Throughout my many years of experience fighting on countless battlefields, I have come to understand a universal truth, and that truth is, weapons should only exist to take the lives of other humans. There can be no exceptions. For once someone wields a tool meant solely for killing, they must bear the sin that comes with it. However, the mobile suits made by Venatus and Ox Earth are different. Not only do they take the lives of their enemies, but the pilots' lives as well. These are not tools for the betterment of humanity, instead they are a curse. The punishment for taking another life should be imposed upon us by humans, and not these machines. People must kill or be killed by their opponent on the battlefield. I believe that is the minimum courtesy afforded to those who partake in the foolish act of war. When we pull the trigger ourselves, we bear the burden of the life we're taking, a sin we can never atone for. In times of war or any conflict, that is how it must be. Delling Rembrandt from The Witch from Mercury.
That second quote is far better written than, because the whole thing with the scientists when they're talking is like, what? But you just said, like, they contradict themselves even in the same sentence. Like, oh, well, it's not wasted. Yes, it is a waste of life. You're wasting life. You shouldn't be for that, but I guess not.
Well,
but yeah.
It's a complicated thing. Because here's the thing, the group of scientists are a group of people, can have different thoughts and ideas, and that's obviously also why they're not like an actual organization. They broke apart after they did create a thing and then did their own thing. So, I mean, I think that's why I didn't quote the entire conversation with them in the idea that what they're saying about war becoming entertainment and you no longer care what you're doing because you're not sacrificing anything. All you're doing is taking the lives of others, and those people who die can't learn anything, as per the part about foolish people see the bloodshed and learn to regret their actions. You're not shedding your blood. It doesn't matter to you. It's a game. You're familiar with the tabletop game Ogre, right?
Yeah.
It's all just living tanks. So, because the irony here is that Delling Rembrandt is in the act of, one, he's killing a bunch of people while giving the speech. He's given the order to kill Venatus and Oxearth in the background, and that's the part I was crying about while I was taking this quote, because it's very emotional what's going on there. The sacrifices that people have made, and it's a whole thing. And he is also asserting control over an entire conglomerate of companies from the person who is a bit more peaceful about this. So his speech about, I've been on countless battlefields and people need to be responsible for killing other people, is being given as he's given the order to kill people. So it might seem to be a good speech about we need to be responsible for this because only then can, by our own sin, we come to an agreement about not doing this ever again, is his own shedding of blood and inciting the entire story to come. God, Witch from Mercury is such a good show.
Okay. My next note. Trace is such a weirdo, I swear. I mean, in any other show, he would be a quirky side character with maybe with his own gang and a nuisance to the main characters. But here he's in front and center, and that's what gives Wing its charm.
I don't know, he's goofy. I mean, I think he'd be the main character of any show. He'd just be written a little bit different. The same qualities that I think you were describing that make him goofy are what make him the main character. So I think he would just he'd become more like Durandal, I think, if he was written more serious.
Yeah.
It would be the same guy, though. That's what I'm saying. He'd be the same philosophical, honorable combat sort of guy, I feel like. Well, I only have one note left. 50 Aries and 20 Cancers. Zex destroys 7 Aries when he asks, how many more? 10 Aries and 5 Cancers destroyed by Zex, plus 2 Aries to friendly fire. So Zex destroyed 20% of the Aries forces, even though they lost 24% of their forces in battle. Similarly, 25% of the Cancer force was destroyed. So overall, Zex destroys a little over 21% of the force sent to destroy him, while they actually lost a little over 24% of the force in the battle. It
I
doesn't
haven't known
seem
about
like
that.
he's doing very much because we commented on it during the reaction, like how little he destroyed. But then again, we don't actually see all 50 areas or anything. We see all of the ones he destroys. Well, essentially the same thing for the Cancers, except that he only destroys there's a group of 3, and we only see 2 explosions. So he destroys one Cancer survivor. Are weird to say that?
Now going back to the Alliance Commander you were praising, it's like, good plan, Alliance Commander. Too bad you were outclassed at every turn. But then again, he knew that going in, as you pointed out. But
Well,
still,
also he sacrifices his life at the end to save Quattro. That's the guy
the
at the end, so...
the slowest shuttle explosion in the show so far. It took a while for that show to explode. Every other shuttle explodes. This one's like exploding, and he's like, "Oh, I gotta it's still exploding." It's like, God damn it, I gotta do this.
I don't recall it being that slow. Literally,
he gives an entire speech before it explodes. Gets hit, it is exploding.
Well, that's fair. You're giving it the meta. Okay, it started exploding here. Let me watch the clock go. I didn't do that. I thought you were conflating the Leo's explosion with the start of the shuttle. Well, to be fair, I mean, put it up there with Garma, right? Yeah. The thing's coming down. How long could the speech be, right?
Right with Garma, it was taking damage and it exploded when it hit the ground.
Well,
right?
no, I mean the whole thing is exploding around him. Garma's giving a speech and there's fire and flames, but technically also the Gaw is going for the ground. So technically, as I'm saying, how long can the speech be?
Well, I have 2 more notes. My 5th note here: I get that a court martial would be inconvenient, but wasting all those resources just to fail, even if manned by POWs, is just a waste. Then again, Oz never seems to care about that.
Well, they don't, because Cancers and Aries are, I don't know if they're first generation. Well, they're not technically. Tallgeese is first generation. They're second generation mobile suits, and you're already planning to replace them with Tauruses, so I guess it's surplus.
Oh, well, that's the thing about logistics. They're not.
More than that, your fight's not going to be on the ground anymore. You're going to be in space. You need space operable mobile suits,
which they already had with modified Leos, but still. And my last note: Hero's speech at the end is just weird. I guess he forgot that the colonies were oppressed by the Alliance, because he talks about it is the colonies who are arming themselves and trying to be like the big boys. Like, dude, but it was the Alliance that came in with their suits and literally pointed their guns at guys against the back of the wall. That's why you're here. That's why you're taking on Oz. Supposedly they murdered your namesake. And you're like, well, the colonies. And I get that he's supposed to be his awakening to the fact that violence by itself has no meaning, It's like, I'm just, we're just fighting for fighting's sake. But it again, it's weirdly worded.
I would argue that it's weird for 2 completely other different reasons. One, it's his intro speech to the school, so it's already weird. That's what the teacher says. Also, it's weird because the colonies arming themselves is you. It's you.
Yeah.
You are the thing you're complaining about. All right, well, I also mentioned that we had a comment. Bruce Ingram from the video Gundam Wing 30th Anniversary. Wu Fei's wife got cut out of the original show with all its production issues. The manga episode 0 covers backstory for the Gundam pilots that really should have been animated. Would love to see Hero being recruited by Dr. J. It's so stupid, and the only thing I really remember after reading. I would hope this anniversary video leads to something more, though it could always just be a standalone celebration thing. Still waiting on the follow-up to 00 they announced years ago. At least Udir Hunt movie has a release date in Japan now. Udir Hunt is the game movie version of that for Iron Blooded Orphans. 00 had a short not like a post-credit thing. They revealed it at a convention. And I
Yes, you
can't
do.
say anything else about it because eventually you and I might watch it. So, well, I mean, I think Double O was the second place in our here's the poll for all the shows, best in show poll that we did. Where Seed won, I think Double O was second, and Iron Blooded Orphans, ironically, given this, was third place. Here's a little meta thing, not related to Bruce Ingram's thing. Nobody paid attention to the after fact where we read the whole website thing about everything that was coming of the video, because everyone's just like, "Oh, this is this, this is this, this is this." It's like, yes, I said that in the video.
Yeah.
But yeah, somebody else also commented about the Wu-Fei's wife thing. That's why he calls his Gundam that name. It's his wife's name. So she was the older woman in the video. We're like, who's that? Because obviously the kid and the other guy are something else that we read during the thing.
Well, there you have it. Those were the comments and the notes.
And there was
Anything
also something
before
else that I saw that was the voice actors for the Gundam Wing stuff did a dinner event where they read stuff like an in-character thing during a dinner event.
Yeah, I saw that, but that was the American voice actors, right?
No. You're talking
Comic-Con?
about you're talking about a different thing. I'm talking about the Japanese voice actors did a thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about like a little dinner event. I like clicked into it. It's not translated, so it's like not something we could do anything with. And I'm not even actually sure what the event was. I just saw it on Anime News, and I was looking at it with a bunch of other stuff that I look at on the Anime News site. It was a thing. No, you're talking about that one where, like, I think there's a video where like 3 of the different voice actors doing their iconic lines, and I'll be honest, they do not sound the same anymore. But it's been a long time, so I'd like don't behoove them that. It's just the element of, hey, listen to older guy do I don't know, Duo, the cowboy guy looked like is the one who does Duo, I guess. Like, that doesn't sound like Duo.
Yeah. Also, I mean, this way they say that they also they do voice editing as well, especially to graduate the pitch as well. So, I mean, they may probably make the pitch higher because they're supposed to be younger.
I don't know. What's his name? Always sounds like what's his name?
Stephen Bloom, yeah.
Yeah, Steve Bloom. Stephen Bloom. You know.
Yeah, Stephen. Yeah,
we're
my
close.
pal Stephen, right
We're
here.
close.
Yeah,
I call him Stephen. He said stop talking. I'm like,
like, don't talk to me ever again. What are you doing in my house?
That's what I was
Get the fuck out.
I call him Stephen. He calls the cops.
But before we get started,
make sure that you hit the like button,
hit that subscribe button,
comment down below to feed that algorithm.
On top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this,
unfiltered,
uncensored,
and uncut,
as well as some early access stuff,
you can check it out over on the Patreon.
It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
We had somebody responding to episode 1 of Gundam Wing. Not a comment I'm actively reading, so I'm not quoting them or anything. The English dub is available on GundamInfo.com or the Gundam Info channel. It's like, well, where?
Yeah.
You know, a lot of the copyright issues that I have are directly dealing with Gundam Info's YouTube channel. Bandai's legal department entirely cool with what we're doing. In fact, they have to supersede Gundam Info's copyright claim against us. So,
all the time.
Well, specifically with shows that I've been talking to, about you and me going back and re-recording, or not re-recording, me re-recording you first time, Gundam 00 and Iron Blooded Orphans, because that's where a bunch of blocked videos, me and Griffin watched them. Anybody who was with the channel back then got to see our reaction to that, which is again during the flippant era, where I wasn't doing boards or notes and anything. So you and I doing it again would at least give it a serious look-see. That's like, those two words go together. Serious look-see.
Look-see.
Well, because it's never going to be not flippant. It's going to be there no matter what I'm doing.
Yeah, we're going to snark whenever we can.
Wait, 175? Oh, okay, Hero UE, never mind.
Yeah.
I was like, typos already.
Hey. That's why you wear a seatbelt.
No, if you wear a
Well-
seatbelt, you get Amarode.
反逆者の象徴として扱われ孤立していった。帰還する場所を失っていくガンダムとそのパイロットは流転する時代の中で存在意義をかけて戦っていくのだ。
Ah, damn it. I used to have a sticker of Amuro bouncing around against the seatbelt in the Gundam because he got jerked all over the place. Apparently, I switched it out for the I can't control it.
Yeah.
Our friendship is
And
over
when
when
the-
the mask breaks.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Yeah.
私は君の友達にはなれない。
I said when I was 5 years old. That's something I forgot to note. The first introduction of Barge was last episode. Because remember, he was face down on a beach at the end of last episode as well.
Is he gonna keep the belt buckle though?
Yeah, to keep his pants up.
Or he can get something else.
私は
We're not dead back then, so I don't think why you think he's alive. It's a shock.
Also, just reminds me heavily of Atherin in the
Yeah.
waking up in the bed with Kigali watching him. Because it looks like the same room.
Ah, the mechanic.
Howard. Now we finally have a name for him. I think we already had a name for him.
あの通るギスを乗りこなせるパイロットがあの子たち以外にいるとは思わんかったな。
あなたは
あしゃあの設計に参加していたものだ。
The missing scientist. It's like, yeah,
Well,
there is
no,
one
he's the
missing
mechanic, as
scientist.
you already pointed out.
Yeah, I know.
It's 5 scientists and 1 mechanic.
Yeah. I just happened to be sailing through here, so yeah. Liar.
どうして私を助けたのですか。
Because the plot must continue.
ゼクスマーキスという英雄がオズを見限ったのだ。大事に扱っても損はない。
ゼクスマーキスは死にました。
I know Chao. I now have a much longer name.
時代は変わり目を迎えている。生きているうちに新しい時代を見てみたいものだ。やはりいい機体だ。
Well, this is an inconvenient elevator because that's an unmoving barrier in front of you.
Yeah.
大気圏脱出用バーニアですか。
本当はガンダムが宇宙に帰るときに取り付けてやるつもりだったんじゃがな。
But those kids didn't ask, so.
Yeah.
宇宙へ。
宇宙はこれから大きく動く。優秀な人材が大勢必要なのじゃ。
So Howard's to blame for everything to come.
ラグランジュポイントに点在する旧地球圏統一
Yeah.
の宇宙軍の制圧に乗り出したオズは。
I told you the
Lagrange points. We've already covered there's only one Lagrange point in this show for some reason.
力の象徴である。しかしオズはコロニー市民には力を前面に示さず、宇宙で持つもう一つの顔を見せた。
Thank God for the spotlight, I guess.
オズのレディアン上級特佐は旧連合に代わり宇宙軍指揮官と
I think your hair should fall up like that, I guess. Well, somewhat.
Air
Unless it's
resistance.
using very power. Yeah. You should still be like
Oh, they're the
floating a little
school.
bit.
That's the background of the school area.
Yeah.
Which means she's using the same place as, air quotes here, Duo Maxwell.
Duo Maxwell, yeah. Even her voice is completely different. Well, I guess, you know.
Well, not completely. I assume it's the same voice actor.
Yeah, yeah.
ですが、いつの日か、オズの努力が理解される日を迎えることができると信じています。
それは我々も同じ思いです。
Why are you here?
必死で説得しています。
You're from Area D. That's not even the same colony.
暴力に対する術がありません。
そのためのオズです。我々オズがいる限り、必ず正義は報われるでしょう。
レディアン特佐がそうおっしゃるのなら安心です。宇宙が平和になれば、
Sycophants.
にオズに不信を抱く者たちもきっと。
Yeah, bowing to the new power that's risen.
I mean, no, I mean, like,
レディアン特佐。例のものを補足しました。
they're like just reinforcing each other's sentences
バルジにお戻りくだ
Yeah.
さい。
for no reason.
バルジへ、
トレーズ閣下のご指示です。
トレーズ閣下の。バルジへ。
Get me my glasses.
Yeah.
And a
Yeah, it's literally like
hairstylist.
Yeah. It's literally like that she's two different personalities. Like, oh,
悪の象徴として利用価値は多い。トーラスを出せ。抑えろ。
パイロットはいかがしましょう。
容姿による。
What?
憎ければ生かせ。同情を誘うものならば殺せ。
I mean, fair enough. That makes a little more sense. Weird to say.
yeah.
But
yeah.
also, the element, just the last episode.
冗談だ。
Okay, weird. Anyway, last episode, she says, what use do we have for a Gundam without a pilot? And that was the whole point of letting Quattro live. You know, Tin Soldier has your badge?
Oh, it looks like a harlequin.
No, it reminds me of the Tin Soldiers from the Alice in Wonderland sequel. Good job killing that second one who wasn't even within the angle of your swing. You think that's to help him breathe better, or did he get cut in the nose?
Probably the second one. When he hit his face on the. Yeah, they have energy weapons, which is not the same as the rifles you've been fighting. Well, apparently they don't seem to do any more damage.
Yeah, but I mean, the suit's made of Gundanium.
Mm.
出力ゼロか。この鉄サイズも死んだな。俺も長くは持たないか。けどよ、ただじゃ死なないぜ。
So you don't want to just explode like everyone else has tried to do?
ガンダム、俺がモビルドールでなくて助かったな。
Why? Oh, trying to keep him. To be fair, you probably have to kill him. He's not ugly. Arguably, he's the best looking one of the Gundam pilots. Depending on what you're into, I guess, Quattro could be like number 1 or number 2.
You have no power. That's the problem. You can't blow up. You lost all the power.
I don't think it takes that much power. Just enough to activate an explosive. I just meant because his console still had power, and that should probably be enough to activate an explosive.
Apparently not.
多くの破壊活動を行い、平和を脅かしていたモビルスーツガンダムの一機がオズのトーラス部隊によって撃墜され、パイロットも逮捕された模様です。このパイロットの身元については調査中ですが。
So this is confirmation that Lady Un thinks that Duo Maxwell is ugly? Is it because he got punched in the face?
I think she said kill them anyway. She was just kidding, apparently.
No, you know she's not kidding. That guy is going to be in trouble if he doesn't follow her orders and thinks that she's kidding.
誰もガンダムが唯一の味方であるとわからないほどコロニーの連中は支配されることに慣れてしまっているのか。それでも俺は戦うしかないが。
Join the circus? Oh no, not anymore. You can't. You screwed that one up.
ヒーローが向かったコロニーが近い。あいつは必ず動く。
Yeah, the next time on suggested he'll try to kill Duo.
Yeah.
コロニー175年。コロニーにおいて大きな事件はなし。指導者ヒーローユイの暗殺の歴史も抹消されている。オズのやり方は何も変わ
I go figure that we're using that as a sign of a fascist dictatorship because it's something will be better.
現在の戦況は不利だ。これ以上のマイナス要因は取り除く。
Yeah, so let's cut our fighting force from 5 to 4. Meanwhile, on a different barge. Contraband.
No, my cabbages.
So wasn't he on that colony? Why did he sneak in?
I thought he thought he was near it.
No, that's the colony that they just had the backdrop of the school that he was in, which means that that's that colony. Hey everybody, look at the Gundam we defeated. Why not? That should be knowledge by now in the Oz military. Ah, the classic I know you are, but what am I? Oh, but it'd be funny if it didn't work. Bam! What are you doing?
Yeah.
Hit like a girl. Also, belt buckle's not special.
Mhm.
We all got one in case we forget who we work for. We look at our dicks and we're like, yep, that's what.
Nothing says like they're gonna liberate the colonies by, you know, torturing a kid.
It would have been a good move if under the bandage there was like a small communications device or something. Like, I've been planning to get captured the whole time. Dumb. Dumb scene. You know, they were going to use me for their plans. We could escape together. Nah, shoot me. You pointed the gun before I started talking. Also,
Nice.
the next time on was just a fucking lie.
No, we see this in the next time on.
No.
You know, he's.
Yeah, but the narrator says to kill Duo Maxwell.
Oh yeah, of course.
You know how they say pictures speak louder than words? Words are actually louder than pictures because pictures don't make noises. If a picture of a tree falling in the woods falls off its frame, does it make a noise? Actually superhuman.
Yeah. We did not search for more. That's on us. Yeah.
It really feels like you just follow his path. Playing with your dolls again. And now, is that Barge or is that just another colony really close by? So is that magnetism, electromagnetism from landing on the thing, or you got bad knees? I couldn't tell what was happening there.
Now they had killed her in here.
I mean, if this was a, I don't know if it's a better show. I think actually it's a good show with Lady Young, so I don't want her to die. But at the same point, this is classically a bad time to leave.
なものではないだろう。お前たちの力は人間の心を操ってしまうほど強いのだ。お前たちは汚らしく強いはずだ。
ニコル得意ガンダム05と追撃の利用バルジビーム砲の有効エリアに入ります。
Okay, it was Barge. Okay. We'll ask the question before you didn't even weigh in. I think we just call it Gundam 5.
We lost yet another arm.
Should have lost the whole Gundam. He was in the blast when it was a small beam, and then the beam widened up to like 10 times the size. He should still have been in that. She's a new type. Oh, Sparkle Sparkle. She is a new type. This is one of the many shows that just makes other people new types. They call me Lala soon.
Yeah, this is where gets weird as fuck.
Unfortunately for you, you called it the wrong time. Lady Yun's not here right now.
Yeah.
Sure.
I guess that works.
I mean, an explosion is a propelling force, so... If I wasn't such a non-fan of Wu Fei, I'd be celebrating that as a pretty cool move. However, everything about Wu Fei makes me not want to celebrate that move. Well, I mean, playing dead seems like a good way to escape. Duo is alive. Ah, we took a page from Wu Fei, I see. Where is Wing Zero right now? Yeah, I was about to say, feels like stealing a friendly Leo would actually be a helpful move here, because they probably have what do you call it? You know, the signals. Help me out here, Lessons.
IFF. Well,
yeah.
It doesn't seem to be working right now.
Well, no. Well, it seems more likely that they've stolen the Tauruses themselves.
Yeah.
So I don't know how, because they were just floating over a couple of Leos. Sure that they reprogrammed them. Oh. And then they set them all as targets.
Yeah. Oh, that's that was a
very laggy camera.
A new type. No, a new type splash sound.
Now, you know, they share.
Oops.
What's a major design flaw? You target one thing, and then you target everything of that same thing. Well, we had a Taurus assassinate a man once, and then he killed all the men.
Yeah.
Yeah, but first you gotta get Birthday Girl. You can't promise to kill a person when you still got other promises to keep.
Yeah. You have a very long murder list, my friend. You gotta...
No, he only promised to kill one girl.
And he didn't kill... He promised to kill... No, actually, yeah.
Yeah, he's only... He's only said, I'll kill you to one person.
宇宙が人間を拒んでいる。そして地球はこの行為が過ちだと教えるために引き下ろそうとしているのかもな。
And yet you're
Yeah, I
going
know,
to
it's very
space.
contradictory.
Yeah. What?
The Xeon speech. By Xeon, I mean Xeon the person and not Xeon the group.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it was an action-packed episode, at the very least, and
True.
showed a flaw in the Taurus design, so, something to bring Tuberoff back for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't mention that again in the notes, but that was I think I mentioned it in the reaction, that was a very, Starship Troopers, The enemy cannot push a button if you disable his hand.
Yeah.
You can't command the Tauruses if I take out the controller.
True.
So I guess that does indicate why you want one Taurus on the field to be manned.
Yeah.
To
that way they can
countermand stop shooting the other Leos.
Yeah. Well, yeah, except that the guy who was doing
You completely cut out audibly.
Oh, sorry. What I was saying is that the guy whose job was to do that ended up dying at the hands of a Leo. Like, he was one of the three guys in the command. Like, oh, they're shooting at us.
Oh, yeah, you meant at that point. I thought you meant during one of the battles. I was like, he wasn't any...
No, of course not. It worked until it didn't.
Well, I mean, hold on a second. Oh, that's what I was talking about.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's when they start fighting each other.
Well, I will say, if memory serves, Mercurius and V8. I remember as V8 probably because of the drink, but in V8 were my favorites, I think, of the doll designs. I know there's more to come, but they were my favorites, and I can't remember which one is which, but for some reason, I remember V8 was my favorite of the two, and I don't know why. They're gonna show me. Well, it's probably the shield one because I was more of a shield guy than the defense versus offense. I like the anime Bofuri. I liked the first season of that. My defense is too high, I think is the longer name of that one. I don't want to get hurt, so I maximize my defense. Something like that. The short is Bofuri. Yeah. Sorry. The thought that I was having before the next time on that I paused myself from saying was the element that if the weakness is once they target one type of thing, they destroy all of it, have one of the Tauruses target another Taurus. You're thinking to yourself, how would that work? Well, crawl into one so that they think you're in it. They're going to target you, and then they're going to target all the other Tauruses. The same way that one Leo was trying to escape, they then shot all of the other Leos. So, boom, you take out the Tauruses by their own bad programming.
Yeah. Well, here that what they did is they just launched them, and they're like, "Oh, enemies!" And they started shooting.
Yeah, no, but they were shooting the Tauruses. The Leos that weren't moving in the hangar as well. They killed the three that were going out, based on the one that was trying to get out, and they just started whacking them all. So clearly that would work then. The Tauruses would individually start trying to take out all the other Tauruses in the belief that if there was one in one of them, I guess there's one in all of them.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, they are all the Leos, even all the Tauruses, even the ones that are manned, can be manned because they have cockpits. So you just get into one.
That's what I said.
Like you said.
Like I said, it's a fine episode. I do appreciate that we're in the arc where the Gundam pilots aren't all powerful, right? Well, I mean, we're still riding Hero's dick. Like, he's the one who can still do everything. But, also, Wing Zero is just all powerful to begin with, so I don't expect it to lose the same way the other ones do. If there's one that can fly around in space, it's gonna be Wing Zero.
Yeah.
Sandrock is such a ground-based suit that it didn't even get to space.
Like, no. I mean, we're also gearing up for the updates as well, so.
Well, spoilers. Hasn't even been introduced as a concept yet.
It's Gundam. Everybody gets a mid-season update. You know that.
No. It doesn't happen in every Gundam. The RX-78-2 doesn't even get updated until, like, the last 5 episodes.
Yeah.
And
Iron
that
Blood
is
was the
a
first one, so.
non-friction coating. That isn't like a whole freaking update. Yeah, I can't
Oh
remember.
no, with the G-Ball. He actually kind of get updated when the G-Ball showed up, sort of.
Not really.
Yeah, because he could actually use the G-Ball as a
Okay, the difference here is you're
rocket.
saying he could actually. Does he? No, it's mostly Sayla flying around in the G-Ball.
Yeah.
Because obviously he's in that fight where they almost kill Sayla and has to stop, and the whole impetus for Lala. You're about to say 8th MS Team. That never gets
that was
updated.
a downgrade, actually. That was actually a downgrade.
If you're talking about what's her name, Karen.
Right, head shut off.
And the head, yeah. So, yeah, again, you said it always happens. I can't think of one. Like, it started as me trying to contradict you, and now I'm like on board trying to think, is there been one? And I can't think of any outside of Gundam Wing.
Oh, Destiny.
And it happens twice in Gundam Wing. Well, yeah, they don't get they don't upgrade them. They get different ones. So,
yeah, but I mean, when I mean Missy something said to get a better overall.
Yeah, and again, that's only Destiny. Well, technically Seed, because that they changed suits in Seed too, but that's also just near the end. But that's not an upgrade. Well, it's an upgrade in the same way you upgrade your car by trading it in to get another car, but not really what we're talking about here, because these are supposed to be the same suits that get upgraded. I don't think they're different suits. Technically, nope, still Gundam. So I mean, still Wing. Doesn't happen in Iron Blood or Orphans. Does it happen in 00?
I think it does.
I don't think you haven't seen 00. You told me you haven't seen 00.
Yeah, but I do know in 00 is the one satellite gun.
No, you've brought that up before. That's a different show, I think. I'm not remembering. There is a satellite gun of sorts, air quotes here, but it's not what you're describing. Gun, I don't feel like it doesn't. No. That doesn't equate. No. It has nothing to do with the mobile suits. Maybe I can't remember off the top of my head if the thing that happens in 00 is an upgrade or a different suit. I want to say it's a different suit, in which case, not the same thing either. So, to the best of my knowledge, even trying to come up with an example, even though it would go against my argument, I cannot think of another show that doesn't upgrade partway through. Thunderbolt, they just bring in another Gundam.
I mean, I think that would constitute as an upgrade if it's a better.
No, but we were talking specifically upgrade the Gundam midway through. Right? And we're not, that hasn't, again, if I'm being pedantic and I am to just win, the RX-78-2 upgrade is in the last 10 episodes, so it's not even a halfway through thing. But that's the closest I can think of. I'm going to say a new mobile suit is an upgrade, but it's not upgrading the mobile suit, which was what your point was. All of Universal's entry that we've seen so far, the RX-78-2 is the only example I can think of.
Oh no! In Requiem, they do get a slight upgrade where they get more armor stuff like that when they
their thing gets destroyed and then they rebuild scrap. That is essentially a different mobile suit. Yeah. So as to that's not upgrading a mobile suit, that's building a new mobile suit. I feel like I'm forgetting a show. It doesn't happen in Origin. There's no Gundam in Origin, and I think that's the limit of the shows that we've watched together. And I've already described all the other shows. It doesn't happen in 00. The Barbatos is the Barbatos from... Actually, I don't know that you consider... I do not think you consider an upgrade a pre-existing thing that a thing could do that just gets unlocked.
I mean, yeah.
If it gets more powerful, but it could always have gotten more powerful, but it only happens later, I don't think that's an unlock. I mean, that's an unlock. I don't think that's an upgrade.
It's an upgrade, yeah.
Yeah.
Or an Aspel,
I'm not going to consider it an Aspel only because it comes at a cost. So long as there's a trade-off, it's viable in my mind. I didn't get more powerful just because I wanted to get more powerful, and then I won. Well, we might eventually watch Iron Blood Orphan, so I'm not going to spoil it. But I will say,
It's my
even though
secret technique.
even though I don't like the characters of the show or those specific ones because of reasons, I'm not going to say that it was like an ass pull. That I appreciate that there was a trade-off involved because that's balance, right?
So overall, not a bad episode. Fun. Although the whole thing with Lady Unn, was she like telepathically talking to him, I guess?
That's something I bring up in a lot of shows where I'm like, how did they hear this, right? I even brought that up on one of our last recordings of Thunderbolt. How did Cornelius hear Carla screaming when it's all empty space around them? And they're not on the same communication channel. Actually, this has come up plenty of times in Gundam Wing. He's talking at a normal talking voice in his Gundam, and there's howling winds outside. He's standing on a cliff face out there. How does Patrick hear Troa?
But here they got like weird
they did the spotlight thing again. That's what I'm saying. She's a new type.
I guess.
I don't know. People said Kira was a new type in Seed, a show that doesn't have new types. So, but one guy on the internet didn't have a whole comment section behind him either. So,
good enough.
Well, I guess that is everything for this episode then. So, once again, I've been Theta. This has been Lessons. We've been Stoneface Reactions, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?